All mighty armies in the world today have special forces that are responsible for carrying out extremely dangerous and special operations. They undergo extremely rigorous training, and when they finally come out on the other side, they are ready, and they are indeed very special. But I truly believe that all these mighty armies in the world today need to learn a thing or two from North Korea. You see, the North Korean leadership knows exactly what is needed for a powerful nation. The exact kind of battalion needed to destroy and completely annihilate all these mighty war machines that the North Koreans would like to destroy today. Now, where America has the mighty Navy SEALs, the British have the SAS, the Pakistanis have the SSD, the Indians have the Marcos, the Russians have the Spetsnaz, the North Koreans have a special force that could completely cripple all these mighty special forces from around the world because they have what is called the Pleasure Squad. This highly trained and dangerous special force, which is also called Kapinjo in North Korea, is basically a group of 2,000 young women and girls that is maintained by the leadership of North Korea for the purpose of providing entertainment. This deadly group's special power is that they will destroy the enemy through extreme pleasure. Now, there are multiple theories as to how exactly the concept of the Pleasure Squad came about in North Korea. One very strong theory is that during the reign of Kim Il-sung, the founder of North Korea, his son Kim Jong-il, who was then looking to become the successor of his father, decided to form the Pleasure Squad and place all these women and girls in different resorts and restaurants that his father used to visit so that his father could have a very pleasurable time. So basically, according to this theory, the Pleasure Squad was formed by Kim Jong-il to please his father on his way to succession. Now, the buck didn't stop there, of course. In fact, all three North Korean leaders have had, and in the case of Kim Jong-un, still have, the Pleasure Squad as an integral part of the government. Apart from pleasing and entertaining the leaders of North Korea, the Pleasure Squad is also responsible for entertaining high-ranking government officials and also state guests. Now we know why Donald Trump became such good friends with Kim Jong-un towards the end, and even went as far as to say that he and Kim had in fact fallen in love. You see, that's the power of the Pleasure Squad, and that's how the Pleasure Squad cripples governments. Not much news comes out of North Korea anyways. It's a very secretive nation. So all these stories are then told by defectors who have defected from the north to the south or to China. One such defector explained how exactly the government selects these girls for the Pleasure Squad. You see, the government sent these people to each and every school across the country, small towns, cities and villages, and they go to each and every classroom to select their potential candidates. And they also make it a point to visit the cafeterias and the schoolyards in case they've missed out on any beautiful little girl in the classrooms. You see, these girls can also not be more than 15 years of age because the North Korean founder used to believe that having sex with girls under 15 can make him immortal. Well, he's been dead for 30 years. Now, the propaganda is such that most families are absolutely over the moon once their daughters are selected for this supreme service to the nation. You see, poverty is in fact rampant across North Korea, so most families are very happy that their daughters will go to Pyongyang, the capital, and start earning for the family. So once these girls are selected, they go through a very intense screening process. The first step in the screening process is the background check. If any girl has any family members who have any connections with the government, she is sent back. If any girl has any family members who have escaped from North Korea, she is eliminated. The second step in the screening process is the medical exam. And the first thing that is checked in the medical exam, and this is probably because this is the most important thing for the dear leader, is to check whether the girl is a virgin or not. If not, eliminated. If yes, on to the next step. The next step in the medical exam is a more detailed medical check. The entire body of the poor little girl is examined. And if any little small scar or injury or a mark is found, eliminated. You see, the dear leader will not accept any mark or scar. Now, after this bizarre screening process, the girls that are finally selected are then sent to a brainwashing program where they are told how extremely lucky they are to be there and, with a chance to serve the dear leader and the nation. After they are completely brainwashed, they are then assigned to different divisions within the Pleasure Squad. Now, the first division in the Pleasure Squad is the massage division. You see, the Supreme Leader is so crazy about his massages that girls in the massage division would be trained to be experts on massaging a single body part. You see, the day leader would have a complete unit of girls whose ultimate ability would be massaging the day leader's toenail of the biggest toe of the right foot. That level of precision. The second division in the pleasure squad is the singing and dancing unit. These are the girls that you mostly see on television when they're showing some kind of North Korea's national parade or national celebration. In fact, they say that Kim Jong-un's own wife was once part of this division before the dear leader decided to promote her and keep her permanently instead of disposing her off like all the other girls from the pleasure squad after they turned 23. 23 is too old. The third division in the pleasure squad, and probably the most important one, is the sex division. The sole purpose of this division is to please the dear leader. Their sole purpose in life during this 7 to 8 year national duty is to sexually please the Supreme Leader. But not every girl is lucky enough. You see, even in the sex division, there are multiple levels. The first level, the topmost level, the most beautiful girls are for the dear leader. The level below is for senior government officials, and so on. You see, hierarchy is very important. Now, what happens to these girls after they turn 23 and their supreme service to the dear leader and the nation is over? You see, we have to give credit where it's due, because the dear leader does not just send them back to their villages. In fact, they are relieved of their duties. They're made to sign a document saying they would never reveal anything from their time in service in the pledges. And then, as a gesture of appreciation, they are married off to the dear leader's security guards. Another perk here is that the guard does not choose the girl. In fact, the girl chooses the guard. They're shown pictures of the guards available, and the girl is free to choose her guard and get married. Now, who can doubt the caring nature of the dear leader? Nobody. Now, these stories are told by defectors, people who have defected away from North Korea to other countries, so there's always a chance of exaggeration due to bias and hatred towards the North Korean state. But it's not hard to imagine this at all. I mean, there are multiple pictures of all three North Korean leaders surrounded by beautiful women all the time. The amount of power that they hold inside their country, forming a pleasure squad, it's not a problem for them. I mean, the guy sentenced the US president to death. You think rounding up 2,000 girls from across his country, forming a pleasure squad for his own pleasure is going to be an issue for him? I think not.